Now in this video lecture we will go through what is the effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction, right? And we know that catalyst is something that increases the rate of reaction without itself participating in the reaction or without itself undergoing a chemical reaction. It does not chemically react with the reactants, but it just helps to increase the rate of reaction, right? So we'll just write it over here. Catalyst, it increases the rate of reaction, right? Now since we are at the end of our chapter chemical kinetics, so we know that by now that rate of reaction depends on the concentration of reactants, right? And it depends on the number of molecules, right? Reactant molecules that carry energy equal to threshold energy, right? More is the number of molecules that carry energy equal to threshold energy, more is the rate of reaction, right? And we have also studied in the chapter, in the previous lecture on this chapter on activation energy, that those reactant molecules that does not possess energy equal to threshold energy, we supply them with some extra amount of energy, right, which is known as activation energy, right, so that their energy becomes equal to the threshold energy and they undergo effective collisions to produce products, right? And so when you give energy equal to activation energy, the rate of reaction will increase because number of effective collisions will increase, right? So rate of reaction first is directly proportional to concentration of reactants, right? This is as per law of mass action, right? Second is it depends on the number of effective collisions. Number of effective collisions, right? And effective collisions between reactant molecules depend on the energy that they carry, right? Effective collisions, number of effective collisions depend on the reactant molecules possessing ETH, threshold energy. Only those reactant molecules will undergo effective collision, those carry energy equal to threshold energy. If reactant molecules collide with threshold energy, then only they will undergo effective collision and form products, right? So these are the two things. Now we'll just study further where the role of catalyst, right, helps to attain the rate of reaction or helps to attain the faster rate of reaction. How catalyst will help us to attain the or to increase the rate of reaction, right? So our question is how catalyst increases the rate of reaction, right? We said that there are some molecules, most molecules, let's say, have energy ER, which is energy of reactants, right, which is less than your ETH, right, which is less than your ETH, threshold energy. Once this ER is equal to ETH, then only these reactant molecules will undergo fruitful collisions, that is, they will form products on collision. And we have studied, and what we said is this ETH, threshold energy, is your energy barrier, right? So we have energy barrier that reactants have to cross, right? Energy barrier, this is important, right? Because catalyst does something with the energy barrier, right? So let's see what catalyst will do, that the most of the molecules that have energy less than threshold energy, right, they can also, because if you have catalyst, what catalyst does is, most molecules that have energy less than threshold energy, they will also start reacting, right? So in the presence of catalyst, so let's see how catalyst will help these most molecules that have energy less than threshold energy to undergo chemical reaction and form products. In the presence of catalyst, in the presence of catalyst, reactants that have energy ER will also react, right? So now let's see how catalyst will help for these molecules to form products, right? This is first thing, that this is explained on the basis of intermediate. There is a theory known as transition theory. There is an activated complex that gets formed, right? So there is a theory, intermediate complex formation theory. Intermediate complex formation theory. Now let's see what kind of intermediate complex gets formed, right? That helps to attain the faster rate of reaction. Just to recall, in the previous lecture we have studied that when reactant molecules absorb energy, it forms activated complex, right? That activated complex is a high energy complex that dissociates to form products, right? So before this, there was something called as activated complex. Activated complex, right? This was without catalyst, right? Without catalyst, an activated complex was formed, right? This was the kind of diagram that we had, right? This was the kind of diagram. So here, this was ER, energy of reactants, right? This from here to here is the energy of reactants ER, right? And these reactants will not undergo chemical reaction, right, until this point, right? This is your ETH, right? From here to here is your threshold energy. Only those molecules that have energy equal to threshold energy will undergo chemical reaction or will undergo effective collisions. Those molecules that have energy ER will not undergo effective collisions, right? And we have studied in the previous lecture that we will supply some extra energy, so that the energy of these molecules become equal to the threshold energy. That extra amount of energy we called as activation energy. It will activate the reactant molecules. So this was the extra energy. The energy of reactants is here right now. It has to reach here. So we have to give this much amount of energy, right? This is your activation energy. Activation energy, right? And this is your threshold energy, energy barrier. So all reactant molecules have to cross this energy barrier, which is a hump between these reactants, and these are your products, right? These are your reactants and these are your products, and this is a hump between reactants and products, which is your energy barrier. So all reactants have to cross this hump, this energy barrier, to form products or to undergo chemical reaction. Now the activated complex that gets formed, right, will get formed only between reactant molecules, right, that could acquire energy equal to threshold energy, right? So this activated complex, right, this activated complex without catalyst, when the reactant molecules, this is what we studied, if you remember, these are reactant, right? So when we supply energy equal to activation energy, it will form an intermediate complex, right, which looked like this, right? This intermediate complex have loose bonds, right, in this intermediate complex the bonds between reactants, that is AA and BB, is in the process of dissociating, and the bond between AB, right, which is your product, is in the process of making, right? So here this is a high energy molecule or a high energy complex, not molecule, high, we call it as high energy complex, in which which contains loose bonds between AA and BB, and between AB it contains loose bonds, right? Loose bonds. So this will dissociate, since it's a high energy complex, right? So this will dissociate to form products like this, right? These products are formed. Now let's see what happens in the presence of catalyst, and this complex has maximum energy, which is your threshold energy here, right? And we said that in the presence of catalyst, even molecules that have energy less than threshold energy, they are also able to form products. So how these reactants or reactants that have energy, say here, would be able to form products if they are unable to cross this barrier? What could be the reason? This is explained on the basis of intermediate complex formation theory. As per intermediate complex formation theory, what happens is the reactant molecules first form loose bonds with the catalyst, right, to form a high energy complex, right, which has a potential energy much less than the intermediate complex formed without catalyst, right? So what catalyst is doing, when the reactant molecules form bond with the catalyst, it brings down the potential energy. It brings down this potential energy, or which we call it as threshold energy. When it will bring down this energy level, it will bring down, then more reactant molecules would be able to react that has energy less than the threshold energy, right? Suppose A and B are reactants and C is a catalyst, right? So what kind of complex it will form? This is the kind of complex it will form, right, in which this intermediate complex that has a high energy will dissociate to form product, regenerating this catalyst, right? Because catalyst doesn't undergo any change, it would be recovered as it is at the end of the reaction. And this intermediate complex has low potential energy compared to activated complex, this activated complex without catalyst, right? So this explains what it does, and the lower potential energy that it provides is somewhere like this. It would be like this. So a new hump would be formed, right, that has energy barrier much less than the original one which is without catalyst. It's like this. Let's represent it with a different color. It would be somewhat like this, right? This energy barrier. This is a new energy barrier that gets formed with the catalyst, which is much lower compared to the original one. Now, more molecules that have energy less than the threshold energy would also able to undergo reaction, right? So earlier this much energy was required, right, to cross this energy barrier. Now only this much energy is required. This much energy is lessened, right? This much energy is lessened. So what catalyst basically does, catalyst gives an alternate path that has less activation energy, right? This path you can see has less activation energy. Here the activation energy was this, right? This is the activation energy, right, from here to here. With the new one, with the new hump that you see on the graph, the new activation energy is this much, right, which is much less than this one. This is your EA dash, say, right, and from diagram EA dash is much less than EA, right? So now more, due to this, more reactant molecules will react, right, and undergo effective collisions. Will undergo effective collisions to form products, right? So what it basically does is it provides an alternative path. The catalyst provides an alternative path, which is this path, which has much less potential energy, or we say it's an alternative path that has lower potential energy, right? This alternative path has lower potential energy, right? Or this alternative path has lower activation energy, due to which more reactant molecules will undergo effective collisions, right? So more reactant molecules will react, that means rate of reaction will increase. So this is how it will increase the rate of reaction. There is an example that we can give. If this is, say this is a big mountain, right, and there are some people that are climbing, that have to climb this mountain in order to come at this point, right? Now if there are some people, right, let's say there are some old people who are not able to climb the mountains, they will not go, they are not able to come to this point from here, right? So what other thing can be done? If we make a tunnel here, if we make a tunnel, right, so these people who are unable to go to this height, right, and come to this point, they will reach here and they will come through this tunnel here, right? So this is also like this this is, what is this? This is an alternate path which is provided by this tunnel. Similarly, an alternate path of less activation energy or less potential energy is provided by this catalyst. There are some other theories, right, which we will do in another chapter, surface chemistry, that states that how the catalyst can increase the rate of reaction. There was a theory which states that catalyst, what it does is catalyst provides a surface or a medium for the reactants to react. What it does is the reactants get adsorbed on the surface of catalyst, right? All these are reactants. When these gets adsorbed, right, when these reactant molecules get adsorbed on the surface of this catalyst, they come close to one another, right? These reactant molecules come close to one another, thereby increasing the concentration. The concentration of reactants increase due to the presence of this catalyst, right? And the law of mass action states that rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of reactant, so rate of reaction will increase, right, due to the presence of the catalyst, because it provides the surface where the reactant molecules get adsorbed, right, and come close to one another. So they are now close to one another, they will undergo collision and will form products. Their concentration increases due to the presence of this catalyst because they get adsorbed on the catalyst surface. And the second thing is adsorption is exothermic reaction, is an exothermic process, right? That means energy will release in adsorption. So the energy that will increase, that will release, would be used by reactant molecules for effective collisions. Once they gain energy, they will undergo effective collision and will form products, right? This is a theory. We will do all these theories in next chapter in surface chemistry in heterogeneous and homogeneous catalysis, right? So this is it. The main reason how it increases the rate of reaction is it provides an alternate path with less activation energy. One thing to notice here is it doesn't lower down the activation energy of original reaction. The catalyst only provides a new path, right, or an alternate path that has lower activation energy, right? This is to notice here. I mean, this is important. Just don't get confused that it lowers down the activation energy of the reaction. It just provides a new path, right, that has low activation energy. Just like this new tunnel, it doesn't make any change with the original path. Original path is as it is. All those people that have high energy can go through this path, right? Only those that have less energy or those people who cannot go from this path, they will go through this tunnel. Similarly, here also the molecules that have high energy, they can go through this path. They can go through this high energy path. Only those molecules that have less energy will go through this path, right? So there are some important thing about catalyst, that catalyst just helps to speed up the reaction. It cannot initiate a reaction, right? Because it cannot make any change with the free energy of the reaction, so it cannot initiate a reaction because it doesn't do any change with the delta G, right, free energy of the reaction. The second thing is, if we have a reversible reaction, in case of reversible reaction, catalyst speeds up the forward reaction equally and the backward reaction also equally. It speeds up the forward as well as backward reaction equally, so it helps to attain the equilibrium faster, right? It does not affect the equilibrium of the reaction. It's not that it will only affect the forward reaction, it will only increase the rate of forward reaction. So that ways the equilibrium would be disturbed, right? It will increase only forward reaction or backward reaction. What catalyst does is it will increase the forward reaction and backward reaction equally, so it will help to attain the equilibrium quicker, right? Equilibrium will reach quicker, sooner, right? So we are almost done with it. And there is one important thing, that catalyst is specific for a reaction. If a catalyst can catalyze one reaction, that does not mean it will catalyze the other reaction also, right? And there are some important reactions like Bosch process that we have studied for the formation of hydrochloric acid. Bosch process for the industry. It's a industrial process for the manufacture of hydrogen gas, where water gas and steam is passed over ferric oxide, right? So ferric oxide is catalyst there. And in the manufacture of ammonia by Haber's process, that's also an industrial process, right, for the manufacture of ammonia gas. There the catalyst is finely divided iron, right, is the catalyst. So, and all the biological reaction, right, that is taking place inside the human body is done with the help of catalysts, enzymes, right? Enzymes are biological catalysts which help in the chemical reactions that is occurring inside the humans, right? So catalyst is again very important for us, right? So I hope all this is clear to you. Thanks.